Anybody done a health check on Stuckman? Is he okay? Is Stuckman okay?
I saw the back rooms. It was really neat. It was directed by a YouTuber, and it was filmed, and a script was written, and the actors recited the lines from the script with some inflection, maybe even some ad-libbing. There was lighting, there was directing, there was catering behind the scenes, and somebody edited the film and put it out in theaters. I thought it was neat. Get Stuckmanized.
It's my best impression of a Stuckman review.
Nerderotic.com.
So, Mandalorian and Grogu, not a good movie at all. Not the worst Star Wars movie ever made. I don't think it's worse than Solo. Solo's a catastrophe. Variety has now confirmed what I just said and was already clear from weekend numbers. Star Wars The Mandalorian and Grogu is collapsing at the box office. The film earned only $6.5 million on its second Friday, a 70% drop from opening day. Rival studios estimate now that they have the movie heading towards a $25 million weekend, down from projections of $40 million. So Backrooms did $81 million, which is amazing. Obsession had another unprecedented jump. It's been jumping up. And we have these two independent horror films beating a Star Wars movie. You can't write a better ending. You really can't. From the thesis of many channels, of videos we have made over the last 8 years, stating like, this is exactly where Star Wars is going to go if you keep going in this direction. This idiocy, this hubris of wanting to fix George Lucas's Star Wars, and that fix is we need more diversity. And it's forced diversity. And it hasn't worked. And people might say, well, there's Andor. And I will respond with, nobody watched Andor. Nobody watched Andor. I liked parts of Andor, and I thought parts of it were absolute Disney Star Wars trash. For example, the lesbians, whose name I can't remember because I don't care, could have been completely taken out of that story and nothing would have changed. Haven't seen Backrooms or Obsession. I want to see them like as soon as possible. This weekend was one for the box office history books. Movie theaters across the nation were jamming with Gen Z crowds who showed up en masse for not one, but two buzzy horror films. A24's Backrooms collected a jaw-dropping, record-breaking $81 million from 3,442 North American theaters in its opening weekend. That's as ticket sales for the Focus Features breakout Obsession jumped again in the third frame with $26.4 million from 2,781 cinemas and crossed the 100 million mark domestically. I'm not very good at math, everybody, but I think it made a profit. I think it made a profit because, well, we'll find out. I'm not sure what the Backrooms budget was. Obsession was under $1 million. So I think it's made money. Both movies were directed by YouTube stars and cost nearly nothing to produce, upending conventional wisdom about the necessary components for a hit. Well, how many times has Hollywood spent hundreds of millions of dollars and not gotten a hit? More than they've gotten a hit. And this has been happening for more than half a decade. And what's going to eventually make them realize that there's a problem? The only way you can hit Hollywood where it hurts. You embarrass them. You hit them in the ego. You show that they aren't relevant anymore. They can lose money. They can get dragged for saying stupid shit on the red carpet. They're not going to care. But if you make them look bad, holy shit. We've been saying, well, they've been looking bad for years. But when you get a general consensus that they look bad and they start feeling embarrassed and shame because shame works, that's when things change. That's why I continue to watch this stuff, because it's fun to make fun of. I don't care about Disney Star Wars. Nothing will move the needle for me from Disney Star Wars except a good chuckle. The original fare ruling is especially striking at the start of the summer movie season, a period that's usually dominated by major franchises. Yet Disney Star Wars, just call it Disney Star Wars spinoff, The Mandalorian and Grogu, or Mango and Grok, suffered a catastrophic 70% drop in its second weekend, signaling the property isn't catering beyond an aging group of core fans. Despite playing on more screens, the Mango and Grogu, Guku, whatever the fuck, I almost said something racial there, landed in third place on weekend charts behind Backrooms and Obsession. Third fucking place. Dave Filoni. It is a Dave Filoni film. Your future, Disney Star Wars fans, was placed in the hands of a man who just made a film directed by Jon Favreau that lost to 2 movies that cost the amount of fucking, what's a good analogy? No, it wouldn't even be that. I would say the bail money for Harvey Weinstein, but it was more. Directed by 20-year-old Kane Parsons, Backrooms has earned, congratulations, Kane. Well done, lad. Well fucking done. Has earned $118 million globally so far. That's fucking amazing. And what is he, 20? I'd love to hear it. God bless America. The psychological thriller has obliterated projections with early tracking suggesting a 40 million to 50 million domestic debut with a production budget of roughly, okay, so it's 10 million. So I think this one's made money too. It's already one of the most profitable movies of the year, though a sequel hasn't been announced. Parsons has already started toying with the idea of turning Backrooms into a film franchise. You go, girl. You fucking go. You get that bag. You did it. Your mom and dad should be proud of you. Fellow YouTubers are very proud of you. Crushing the record set by Alex Garland's 2024 thriller Civil War, which fucking sucked, with 25.5 million. It also ranked as the biggest debut in history for an original horror, as well as the best start for a first-time filmmaker on a non-franchise film. Parsons is the youngest director by far to have the #1 film in the box office. The benchmark was previously held by Josh Trank, who was 27 when 2012's Chronicle, which I liked a lot, opened in first place with 22 million. Based on Parsons' hit web series, Backrooms follows a furniture store owner, Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Choo-choo! Hi, I'm Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. I never remember his name, which sucks because I think the guy's a great actor. He was fucking brilliant in Serenity. And if we're going to have a black doctor, that would have been the guy. That would have been the guy. He would have been a great doctor who finds a secret doorway that leads him to a seemingly endless stretch of nondescript rooms. When he disappears, his therapist, your therapist is going to look for you? Well, I mean, that's a pretty good bill. Yeah. Whatever her name is, ventures into the unknown to rescue him. Nearly 85% of the audience were under the age of 35 and more than 50% were 25 or younger, according to post-track data. Now, I saw Jeremy John's review and they say it goes on a bit too long, but it seems like the fans like it a lot. Parsons and Barker are part of a wave of YouTubers. I mean, yeah, three successful, one not so successful. You okay, buddy? You okay, Chris? Parsons and Barker are part of a wave of YouTubers who have turned their talents to the big screen and brought their enormous youthful fan bases along with them. Earlier this year, YouTube creator Mark Fishback directed, self-financed, and distributed the horror film Iron Lung, which earned a stellar $50 million against a $3 million budget. I think that made money too. Are they going to mention Chris Stuckman? Let me go. Nope. Oh no. Dude, you had Flanagan's name on your movie. What's all the more impressive is that Backrooms and Obsession aren't cannibalizing each other at the box office. In fact, Obsession rose 10% from the prior weekend, which is already up as a stunning 39% from its solid 17 million debut. It's defying box office norms as the first film since E.T. the Extraterrestrial in 1982 to see ticket sales increase in its second and third weekends outside of the holiday season, according to Focus. After 3 weekends of release, Obsession has grossed $106 million domestically and $148 million worldwide against a mere $1 million production budget. It's already the highest grossing domestic release for Focus, besting the tally of 2019's Downton Abbey with $96.8 million in North America. God, nature is healing. Blumhouse Atomic Monster has the #1 and #2 movies in the country this weekend, both made for almost no money. Theaters are, well, $10 million is not no money, guys. Produced by Jason Blum, wrote on Twitter, "What a time to be making scary movies." No shit. No shit. This is such good news. This is your white pill moment that you've been waiting for. Two little YouTuber kids making it big. I love it. As Backrooms and Obsession generated the lion's share of the attention, The Mandalorian and Grogu tumbled to third place with just $25 million from 4,300 venues in its sophomore outing. Such a catastrophic decline signals the force didn't remain strong during the franchise's 7-year absence from the big screen. Guess not. Who could have saw that coming? Though insiders at the company were aware The Mandalorian and Grogu could pose a challenge as the continuation of D+'s series. So far, the Star Wars installment has generated $137.4 million domestically and $246.6 globally. It's found money in the eyes of cinema operators who knew Disney could have dropped The Mandalorian and Grogu on its streaming service, which it should have, for the studio, which produced the space opera spinoff for $165 million. And if you believe that, I've got some land to sell you. Movie theaters represent another revenue stream before the movie lands on D+. Oh, that is a nice spin there. Meanwhile, the company is hoping that the next summer's Star Wars Starfighter, an original adventure directed by Sean Levy, watched Deadpool and Wolverine again. So I watched all the Deadpool movies back to back on the plane. I was way too harsh on Deadpool too. I was fucking laughing my ass off. And then I got to Deadpool and Wolverine, which I liked. It's a little different watching it through the lens of the whole Justin Baldoni or whatever the fuck his name is. And it's just a little different experience. But having watched it again, yeah, it's not very good. It's just not. It's okay. Hugh Jackman carries it completely. Yeah, Sean Levy is gonna direct Ryan Gosling, who was in so far my favorite movie of the year, Project Hail Mary. Serves as a fresh start for the franchise. Really? So what was that? Was that a placeholder? What did Drinker call it? The quartering video of Star Wars movies? I don't think he worded it exactly like that, but that's what he meant. Weekend 2 had to be big, but Mandalorian and Grogu just crashed and burned, says Bach. That's more of a reception of this film than the larger Star Wars unit. Bullshit. Bro. God, they never fucking learn. They never fucking learn. It's more of it's more of a critique on this movie than the Star Wars franchise. Let me tell you something, Bach. I watched The Mandalorian and Grogu twice for my review, unfortunately, and it's bad. But if it would have come out after season 2, since it has no connection to season 3, say it came out after season 2, it would have done better. It would. I'm not going to say it was. It wouldn't have made $2 billion, but it would have done better because it's really inoffensive. Like, it's not, intersectional feminist trash, although there is a girl boss because every kid wants to see a 76-year-old woman pilot a fucking X-Wing fighter. But it would have done better. And the reason it didn't do better is because it is affected by everything that came before, and I'm going to include Andor, which nobody watched. Because Andor, which I half liked and half loathed, now acts as a comparison because there are things in Andor tonally, not canonically, but tonally, and a single scene in The Mandalorian season 1 and parts of Rogue One. That's what we thought, we Gen Xers thought Star Wars was going to be growing up a little bit. Like the Empire scenes in Andor are good. And tonally, that's what we were looking for. If you want to know, like, what were you going to like? That's what we were going to like. But you ruined it with a bunch of lesbians. And the fact that you made lesbians ruin something, that's a story and a stream and a video for another day. Man, they are still sweeping for Mandalorian and Grogu, aren't they? The Michael Jackson biopic is doing really well. It's playing in Japan. I was at the Toho Theater in Tokyo, and they had a giant Godzilla right above Michael Jackson, and I posted Godzilla versus Michael Jackson. I'm going to take Godzilla in that one. Just M. He's bigger and alive. Next weekend could produce a horror trifecta with Paramount's parody sequel, Scary Movie. Then summer should be sizzling with Steven Spielberg's sci-fi adventure Disclosure Day. I want that to be good, but Steven Spielberg is an elitist now and not the person he was when he was making movies in the 80s and really capturing the zeitgeist and what it was like to live. Like with E.T. and Poltergeist, a movie that some were arguing last weekend, like who directed it, Tobe Hooper or Spielberg. Tobe Hooper was the cinematographer. Spielberg was the director. And you just look at how he blocks scenes and look at other Tobe Hooper movies, and it doesn't match. But in both of those movies, it really captured suburban America, particularly where I grew up in Southern California, where you're in tract home housing and it's still being built. So there's a bunch of empty lots and we got our BMX bikes and we jump. That's exactly what it looked like when I was a kid. And it really felt like you were watching a movie that, it really just connected with all of us. I like E.T. I'm not the biggest E.T. fan in the world. I love Poltergeist. I fucking love that movie. But Spielberg is gone. Oh, and then we have Toy Story 5, which is going to make $1 gazillion. And then we have Supergirl, guys. Supergirl, which is going to make Marvel's money. It's looking that way. So when does Mandalorian and Grogu end up on Disney Plus? A couple weeks. I give Supergirl 30 days before it's on VOD. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I think, is going to make a lot of money. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. I'm so confused about everything about that because, what I've heard is when I first, from my inside source who was let go, so he's gone now, told me about the Punisher and Hulk being in it. I was running hints on Twitter. I wasn't saying it out loud, but every time one of the scoopers would post something about it, I just put an image of the Punisher and Hulk under them all the time. And it was supposed to be some force, some person is manipulating the Punisher or the Hulk and turns the Hulk savage at some point. I didn't know it was going to be Jean Grey until my source told me it's Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. So they're introducing a Fox character in a Sony movie? He's all, yep. That's weird. But then there's The Hand. And The Hand is led by a girl who's not Elektra. It's like, I don't know. And then there's going to be the biggest shitstorm of the summer, The Odyssey. The Odyssey.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.